So what if I told you your IQ isn't some fixed number you're stuck with for life? Yeah, for years we've kind of been sold this idea that intelligence is genetic. You either have it or you don't. But what if the story of people in history actually tell a completely different story? Let's dive into the habits that really separate the good from the truly great. Just like this, Albert Einstein's teachers, they thought he was slow, and Thomas Edison, he was literally told he was too stupid to learn anything. I mean, and now, and if these are people who completely flipped our understanding of the world on its head. So if they weren't born with some kind of genius gene, what was their secret? And that right there is the big question, isn't it? If it's not all in their genes, then what is it? What's the hidden variable that turned these so-called slow learners into world-changing thinkers? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple and incredibly powerful. It's not about the brain you were born with. Think of that as the hardware. It's about the systems and routines you run on it. That's the software. And here's the best part. By changing your daily habits, you can literally upgrade the software your brain is running. Okay, so let's jump into our first habit. And trust me, this one is a total game changer in our crazy, non-stop scrolling world. Most of us think the way to get smarter is to just consume more articles, more videos, more podcasts. But what if the exact opposite were true? The science on this is pretty amazing. Neuroscience actually shows that our brains get way more creative and better at solving problems when we stop bombarding them with information. Think about Einstein. He was famous for spending hours just walking and thinking. No books, no phone, no notes. At quiet time, that's where the magic happened. So, here's a challenge. Try to find 20, maybe 30 minutes every day for just silence. Go for a walk, but here's the key. Leave your phone at home. No music, no podcasts, nothing. I'll be honest, at first, it's gonna feel super boring, maybe even a little weird, but you have to push through it because that boredom, that's the starting line where real thinking begins. Alright, let's talk about habit number two. This one is all about getting your brain to the gym. It's about strengthening your mind through what we call productive struggle. I mean, think about it. If you're trying to solve a tough math problem and someone just gives you the answer, did your brain get any stronger? Nope, not at all. This brings us to an awesome study method called the Benjamin Franklin technique. It's so simple. First, you read about a concept. Then you close the book. No peeking. And you try to rewrite the whole thing in your own words. Finally, it looks like ChatGPT. This one is supposed to bring to actually you wrestle with information, not just skim it. Listen, this is so important for every student here. Getting something wrong on your first try, that's not failure. It is not a sign that you're bad at something. That struggle, that's your brain lifting weights, is the actual process of building intellectual muscle. Okay, time for our third habit. This one takes a task you probably already do, writing, and turns it into a superpower. Most of us think of writing as just a way to record information, you know, taking notes, so we don't forget. But the smartest thinkers use writing as a tool for thinking itself. And here's why it works so well. Our minds are like a browser with 100 tabs open at once, right? Just chaotic. But writing forces you to slow down. It makes you pick one of those tabs, one single thought, and develop it clearly. It takes that jumbled mess in your head and organizes it on the page. Want to try it? So I want you to think in general. Seriously, after a study session, just take 5 minutes. Write down the answers to these two simple questions. It is the absolute fastest way to spot the holes in your understanding and lock in what you really know. Now, this next habit, this is what separates someone who's just book smart from someone who's truly insightful. The most brilliant minds don't just know a lot about one subject, they see the hidden connections between different subjects. Take a look at this. On the left, you've got siloed studying. It's how most of us learn in school, right? History is just dates, math is just formulas. But look at the right. This is where real genius lives. It's about asking these bigger questions, like how history and biology are connected. That's when learning is really, really exciting. Here, there are some cool examples to get your brain firing. Instead of just memorizing facts about the Black Death for history class, ask, how did that event change the DNA of people in Europe? Or when you're reading Julius Caesar for English, think about it from a psychology perspective. See, you start building this incredible web of knowledge in your mind. Okay, we're on to our final two habits, and they're really two sides of the same coin. You need intense mental training, and you need smart recovery. You just can't have one without the other. It doesn't work. So let's start with the training part. First off, stop thinking of memory as something you're either good or bad at. It's not a talent, it's a skill, it's a muscle. And you want to know the single best workout for that muscle? Teach someone else what you just learned. Trying to explain a concept to a friend forces your brain to organize it, simplify it, and really lock it in. And after that training, you absolutely have to recover. This slide says it all, right? There's the student myth of the all nighter fueled by caffeine and stress. And then there's the genius reality, focused work followed by deep restorative rest. It's about trading information overload for what we call strategic boredom. And if you don't believe me, look at Charles Darwin, the man who came up with the theory of evolution, arguably one of the biggest ideas ever. He only worked for about 4, maybe 5 focused hours a day. The rest of the time he was walking, thinking, and resting because he knew his brain wasn't off during that downtime. It was busy consolidating memories, making new connections. It was upgrading itself, and that is such a crucial idea to grasp. We always focus on the building part, the studying, the reading, the work, but we forget that a brilliant mind is also recovered. Rest isn't lazy, it's not a waste of time, it's the essential process of letting everything you've learned sink in and grow stronger. So, we've gone through 6 powerful habits, but you don't have to do them all at once. Real change just starts with one. So, I'll leave you with this question. Looking at this list, which one new habit are you going to start with? What's it going to be?